Hi, and welcome to Sewing Bites. Today we're talking about the Singer Start Model 1304. This is a nice little machine. It's good for someone who doesn't want anything too complicated, or for someone who uses only a few basic stitches and doesn't require stitch length or stitch width adjustment dials. This machine has 10 built-in stitches. They're right here on the dial. One is a built-in 4-step buttonhole. It's light, it's compact, so it's really portable. You have a reverse lever here. You do have a thread cutter right here on the side of the machine. It's a front push-in bobbin. And then your foot controller and your power cord are one unit. They go right here, and your power button is right there. So let's move on to winding a bobbin and threading the machine. When you first purchase your machine, you're going to find your accessories down here. Oh, they are in there. All right, so your accessories are going to be in there. And your bobbin case is down here. So you're going to pull the latch and pull the bobbin case out. Your bobbin is going to be in there. So we're going to take that out, and we're going to wind a bobbin now. Before we wind a bobbin, the first thing we want to do is raise your presser foot. So you have a presser foot lifter. Let's see if I can get it. It's right here. So my presser foot is up, but if yours is down, you want to make sure this is up. So do that, and then let's move on to bobbin winding. The first thing you're going to do is put your thread on top of the spool pin. Bring your thread through that first thread guide right there. Then over here, you're going to follow the diagram that shows it going through this tension disc. So this tension disc is only for bobbin winding. That's the only time you're going to use it. So following this diagram, we're going to bring the thread under there, under the disc, and bring it all the way over. And I usually give it a little tug just to make sure the thread is fully under this disc. Then when you get over here, you're going to put the thread through the bobbin, and this machine takes a class 15 bobbin, which looks like this, and you're going to put the thread from between the discs and up through the hole. And this bobbin does not have a right side or a wrong side, so just bring it up through the center into one of the holes. You're going to pop the bobbin onto the bobbin winding spindle and then push it over to the right. From here, you're going to make sure your machine is turned on and then start to wind. So you're going to hold this thread . So you're going to hold this thread straight up. Make sure your bobbin is pushed over to the right. Hold this straight up. What you're going to do is press on the foot controller, let the thread wrap around the core a few times, and then you're going to stop and clip the thread that you're holding, and then you're going to continue to wind the bobbin. So I've let the thread wind a few times inside the core. I've stopped, and now I'm going to cut that top thread and keep winding. I actually don't have a pair of scissors right here, so I'm just going to pull and break that thread. And you can see the thread in the center is not unwinding. That's the purpose of holding the thread straight up and letting it wind a few times. So now I'm going to continue winding until it's full. So when you see it start to hesitate, like see I press on the foot controller, it doesn't keep moving, that means your bobbin is full. You're going to push it back to the left, take that bobbin off, and either cut or break your thread. And we're ready to move on. All right, so with our bobbin wound, Now we're going to take our bobbin case, take our bobbin, make sure the thread is coming off the top of the bobbin toward the right, so that if you were to pull this thread, your bobbin should turn clockwise. We're going to put the bobbin into the bobbin case, and then this little groove right there, you're going to put your thread into that groove, put your finger on the bobbin so it doesn't move, and then pull the thread until it's into that groove right there. See that? So right into there. So now if I pull the thread, your bobbin is turning clockwise. That's what we want. And you should feel tension on it. So it's in that groove. You should be able to hold the bobbin case, or, you know, hold the threads, and the bobbin will not fall out of the bobbin case. Now what we're going to do is install the bobbin case into the machine. Now with your bobbin installed into the bobbin case properly, so we have it in there, now you're going to install the bobbin into the machine. So see this little indent up here? That's where the finger on the bobbin case is going to go. So you're going to put the bobbin case onto the spindle, push it till it clicks, and then you're going to leave it just like this until you're done threading the machine for sewing, you know, on the top of the machine. So let's move on. To thread the machine for sewing, we're going to make sure our spool of thread is on the spool pin. We're going to go through this thread guide right here, and we're going to come over to here. So for bobbin winding, we had stuck the thread under here. For threading the machine to sew, we're going to go under all of it and bring it up over here like that. So follow the bottom part of this diagram. You're bringing the thread under here and up over here. And then we're going to go straight down this groove. So we've come straight down this groove. And let me just remind you, we have our presser foot up. Okay, so make sure your presser foot is up when you do this. When your presser foot is up, it means the tension discs, which are right here, it means those tension discs are open. And you need them to be open so that when you bring the thread down this groove, the thread will get in between those tension discs. And then when you do lower the presser foot for sewing, those discs are going to apply pressure to the thread. That's extremely important. So straight down here, we're going to come down and around here. You have a take-up lever, and if you turn your hand wheel, you'll be able to see it stick up right here. So your take-up lever is right here. You're going to go from the right to the left and straight down. When you do that, make sure, look at the machine from the side. You want to make sure you can see the thread in that circular area at the front of the take-up lever. So we've made sure our thread is at the front of the take-up lever. We're going to bring it straight down this front groove. And we're going to go to our needle. Now we are at our needle clamp. This is your needle clamp, and that is the needle clamp screw. That's the part that this whole thing holds your needle onto the machine. You have a thread guide right here, right below your needle clamp. So what you're going to do is pull your thread like this, bring it into that thread guide, and now we have to thread the needle. The only bummer about this machine is it does not have a built-in needle threader. So for those of us with older eyes, this can sometimes be challenging. But we're going to thread the needle. There we go. And then I had lowered my presser foot just so I could see that needle a little better. So you're going to raise your needle again, hold the thread, turn the hand wheel until the needle goes all the way down and all the way back up. And then you're going to tug that top thread. And that loop right there, that's your bobbin thread. So you want to grab that and pull it to the top side. And then both threads, so you have your bobbin thread and your needle thread, both are going to go under the foot and toward the back. Close your bobbin door at this time. put your cover back on, and we are ready to sew. So I'm going to choose my middle length straight stitch. We're just going to put the fabric under the presser foot. Also, with a machine like this, when you have a front push-in bobbin case, you cannot sew off the edge of the fabric. So you always have to have fabric under the presser foot when the machine is sewing. If you sew without fabric under the presser foot, all that thread is going to do is wrap around your bobbin case, and you're going to jam your machine. So just make sure that when you're done sewing, you stop before the thread or before the fabric goes under the presser foot. So and then I'm going to hold down my reverse and back stitch. And there you go. Turn your hand wheel till you can see the take-up lever. Raise your presser foot, pull, cut on a thread cutter, and it looks great. It's really a nice machine. You just have to thread it properly, and it's going to perform well for you. To select stitches, all you're going to do is turn the stitch selector dial to the stitch you want, and that's what the machine is going to sew. So for the middle straight stitch, this one is about a 2.4 millimeter stitch length. This one is a little shorter, probably about a 2 millimeter. And this one is your basting stitch. And then you have 3 different zigzag widths and lengths as well. This is your 3-step zigzag, you have a blind hem, and you have a scallop stitch. So you literally just turn the dial to the stitch you want. So if I want that zigzag, you just turn it, and that's what it's going to sew. Okay, so that's simple. It's really an easy machine to use. If I want the scallop, right there. Right there. So really nice. It's I really like this machine. It's not very expensive, it's basic, but it sews well. So I talked about how if you sew off the edge of the fabric, you can jam your machine. If you do that, it's usually not a big deal. Let me show you how to fix that if it does happen. You're going to take off your extension table, open this up. You're going to pull your latch and take out your bobbin case. And if it was jammed, you might have a bunch of thread under here. Just take some scissors, cut it, and get your bobbin case out. Try to lift your needle as high as you can, get it out of the needle plate. And then what you're going to do is these latches here, you're going to pull those, and everything's going to fall out. Grab the post here, and you're going to take this out. So this piece is your hook. This is the hook cover. This is your race. So take all this out. You're going to clean it. You can put some sewing machine oil on a Q-tip and just rub it onto the metal parts. That's always a good thing to do. Same thing within here. It's a good idea to always, once in a while, put some sewing machine oil in there just to keep everything well lubricated and keep it clean as well. You don't want lint to build up in there. Once you have done that, you'll be able to turn your hand wheel again and you'll clear your jam. Now to put all this back, think of this like a half moon. So turn your hand wheel until it's right there. That's your half moon. This piece is going to complete the half moon. So you're going to put that in there like that. And that's like, your full moon. You're going to take your race cover and make sure, I think of these as like Batman ears, so make sure the ears are sticking up and facing into the machine. You're going to put those on, or push it into place, and you'll feel when it's into place, and then just close the black arms, the levers, and it's all back in place, and you should be good to go. So Turn the hand wheel by hand. Make sure that it all turns freely and there's, you know, it's not hitting anything. And then put your bobbin back in, rethread your machine, close her up, and you are good to go. That is the Singer Start 1304. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. It is really a nice machine. And if you have any questions, please put it in the comments, and please subscribe to my channel. That would be amazing. I'd appreciate that. And I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching Sewing Bites.